Hello everyone, my name is Santiago Birch. I'm a student at Biology 041, Part 1, and this is my mitosis and meiosis deep deep dive assignment. I hope I got that right. So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about the what mitosis and meiosis is, excuse me, and the start. Here are the contents, and we're going to take a look at what each one of them are and what they do. So for starters, mitosis. Now, mitosis is literally, as you can see from there, at the beginning, all the way over here, mitosis is literally the splitting of cells, and this usually occurs in animals and plants. In other words, in animals and plants. Mitosis is also usually only uses one cell, and from the interphase all the way to the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, or the PMAT as a common analogy, it manages to split and divide two perfect cells. That's how plants replicate. And that's called asexual reproduction. In other words, it means mitosis doesn't need a second factor. It doesn't require something else. There's no requirement. There's no need for anything else. It can literally occur from just one cell. So at the first cell right here, it's an interphase, and then in prophase with all the chromosomes, and then there's a metaphase where all the chromosomes start to line up. Excuse me. And anaphase, where they're pulled apart, and here they're ready to divide, and they've just divided right then. And the division is called cytokinesis, and this is also true. It happens in meiosis, excuse me. So same here. Interphase is literally starting the process for both mitosis and meiosis. And in interphase, you get the chromosomes are lining up, but meiosis is different in the fact that it does require something else. This is how a human or sexual reproduction, sex, works. Through the sperm and the egg, we get this those things combine to create human life forms. That's how I was born. That's how everybody was born on this planet. So here we are in interphase, and here we are in meiosis 1 and the homologous chromosomes. And then they're dividing, but interestingly enough, you can see that they've got little bits of pieces there, and they're not all divided like in before. They're kind of like still the same. They just kind of swapped little bit pieces. So what happened is basically that this works that meiosis crossed over. In other words, the chromosomes shared material, then divided, and then they have two chromosomes, but they each have different materials from the other chromosomes. And then we divide again, just like in mitosis, and we have 4 different cells. So as you can see, meiosis is somewhat, in some ways, very different from mitosis. So, on to the next slide. What they share, well, as I said before, for sexual reproduction, meiosis requires both a sperm and egg cells, and they make 4 unique cells. As you can see, there is the male egg, and the male and the female there. And right here, this requires only 1 cell. So for example, you'd only really need like a couple of skin cells, and that's how your skin creates, how you create more skin cells. And also, meiosis creates 4 unique cells. Mitosis creates 2 cells, but they're the same. They're not different or unique like meiosis. So if your skin looks a lot the same and not so different, it doesn't change a whole lot, then that's because, well, it went through mitosis, and that's technically why your skin doesn't change color. Like, you know, that would be weird and different. So, where they differ is in the phases. Mitosis only goes through PMAT, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase once. And meiosis goes through it twice because it has to do 4 different cells. And as well as I said, they differ in the terms of, one requires one on what they produce, the cells that they produce is, different. So there have been mutations, however, when meiosis and mitosis undergo, sometimes like the DNA sequences changes, it can cause different mutations, and unfortunately, as you can see here, it can cause other things such as cancer. And these mutations, there's so many different types of cancers, breast cancer, or brain cancer, lung cancer, so many different types of mutations, and it all just changes just because on the sequence pairings right there of the adenine, thymine, cytosine, and guanine. And it all just changes there. So the attempts to control mutations have been many. Scientists have done their best to control it, and through chemotherapy and other various and radiation treatments, they've been trying to control these mutations so that hopefully these things, these diseases, can revert back to normal states. But to recap, mitosis is asexual reproduction and meiosis is sexual reproduction. Mitosis creates identical cells. Meiosis creates 4 unique cells. 4 cells, but they are unique. And mitosis is usually used for like plant cells and animal cells, and meiosis is used for, well, human reproduction. They both are essential to life because, without it, we wouldn't have plants. When you can't eat just meat all the time, you have to eat vegetables, and then, without meiosis, we wouldn't exist. And meiosis and mitosis both require DNA, the blueprint of life, the reason why we exist. And to conclude, just think about how great mitosis and meiosis is that make up this planet Earth. Because without that, we wouldn't exist. Earth would not be all shiny, a shiny blue orb in space. And that's it from me. Thank you very much. I do have my sources here. I am afraid that if you're going to look through the sources, some of them are out of order, but I am very grateful, and some of them are very long. I apologize. But I'm very grateful to these sources, and thank you very much, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.